Ladies and gentlemen, Ibrahim Snoopy Ahmad. Round of applause. Thank you very much. You know. And he's very good with the camera. You do magic stuff. I see your voice. You know, so I understand. You know, you are a leading voice in Sudan. Tell us more about yourself and how you're using your voice, your visual voice, or you know, your vivid voice to tell stories.
Thanks a lot. My name is Ibrahim Snoopy, and I'm a film director, cinematographer, editor. You know, the usual stuff you have to do to provide yourself. Yeah. And I co-founded in Deep Vision in 2015. It's a small production company in Sudan, doing cool stuff, videos, music videos, short films, advertisements. You know, just my main aim is to do films, but films in Sudan doesn't pay. I don't know the right term. I'm gonna show you why. So we had to go do other stuff just to make it work and buy new equipment and stuff. So basically, for the past 30 years, the Sudanese government's main goal or target is to do is to destroy arts, whether it's music, theater, films, artists, artisans, everything. Their main goal is to destroy arts. So that put a lot of people into just being not knowing what's
destroy arts.
So basically, if you're an artist over there, they will try their best not to make you work in the things that you love to do.
Is it based on the content you're putting out?
No, just like in general, whatever. If it's just music, they have to destroy you. Films, they see it as something that's opposing their agenda. There are Islamists who main target just to destroy you. So basically, if you want to go and shoot a film down the streets, for no reason they just put you in prison, which happened a lot to me and to my fellow filmmakers. So with that happened, a lot of subjects, developed during their oppression, such as genocide, FGM, underage marriage, and a lot of stuff. With that happening, filmmakers try to put those cases into the screen, such as the movie Beats of Antonov by Hadjuj Kuka in 2014. It talks about the ongoing war in the west region of Sudan. Also a film like You Will Die in 20, talking about social stigma and stereotypes that's happening in the society. A film called Cartoon of Side. It's a film about girls struggling just to play soccer. A film called Talking Trees. Also a film talking about filmmakers who are struggling just to get a small screening in their neighborhood. A film called Al-Sid, also by Suzanne Merghani, which is over here. Also, all of these films talk about, the people, what's happening in the society. That's the only way that we can tell the world what's happening, through films, through music, through articles, stories, and those kind of ways. So that's it. I'm stumbling here.
No, you're not stumbling.
You are heading the right way, and I like that. I like that you guys have that vision, in the sense that. But I also believe that it's still challenging. You talk about her film that she's done. I don't know how she's promoting it and where she's promoting it, but it seems like it's a struggle to promote it in Sudan. So what are some of the alternative ways that you guys are using right now?
Well, the easiest way to promote your films through social media, because it's the most effective platforms, in Sudan, whether it's Facebook, Twitter. Sudan is still based on Facebook. You see a lot of people still using Facebook in Sudan. So whether you post anything about cinema, people reach out and start asking about it if you know the right people. And saying the right people, that means just, people who are around the industry and have a lot of buzz around them. I don't know if it's the right term.
Yeah,
You know, that's how we promote films. You can't just go out there and print your poster on a billboard. That would cost you more than your film. You know, and if you want to go to the TV, I mean, the old regime is still controlling the TV, so they will come and bug you, and you don't want any kind of disturbance after you produce your films. One great example of Sudan Merghani's film, which went on to, it had great distribution, I think, and it went on to win over 50 awards around the world. And that generated a lot of buzz, and not to herself only, but to local Sudanese filmmakers. But because a guy like me who's based in Sudan, and you know, sometimes it's unclear where the industry is going. Right. So when I see a film like this being made in Sudan and getting international recognition, that gives me hope, and my fellow filmmakers also hope that we can reach out. And through films such as Talking Trees, the films that I mentioned, right, and also Hajjuj, and all the efforts that filmmakers are doing, they have two things in common. First, talking about social issues, and second, which is, to some filmmakers, that's the most important thing, is that they all got a lot of international awards and prestigious awards, from Venice to Cannes. Even like the latest film called The Dam, I guess, it's like officially selected in Cannes Film Festival, and it's a Sudanese-Lebanese film. And there are also a lot of filmmakers, international filmmakers, that are reaching Sudan for the past 2 years. I've collaborated in a couple of films, such as Ricardo Preve. He's an Argentinian filmmaker. He has a film that talks about Dr. Abraham Rosenwasser. He's the archaeologist that saved some of the things that belongs to the museum. I can't remember the right term. And also the recent film that I collaborated in with a Tunisian filmmaker called Hind. It's called Bullet Don't Kill, Silence Will. Okay. That's the translation of the film. A film that talks about the Sudanese revolution. Okay. So you see that if you can, in short term, anyone who collaborates or do films in Sudan, it automatically win, you know, get international recognition, got awards, selected in multiple festivals, and that, which, you know, add into giving hope to filmmakers, local filmmakers. What I try to do also, personally, try to collaborate as much as possible, whether it's with local filmmakers, with international, whoever I can reach, so that just to give filmmakers the idea that, you know, although Sudan is a little bit rough and the government isn't supporting us, it's opposing us, you can still make it. I mean, me reaching here to this room today proves that you can make it, you know, coming from the ghetto and then suddenly in Cannes. A lot of people didn't even believe that I can make it here. I didn't believe that I can make it here. Suddenly, like, I'm in Paris and eating croissant. You know, 2 days ago I was just with flip-flops in Sudan with no electricity, but you know. So that's why it's all about giving hope, and the way I see the Sudanese filmmaking industry, it's rising, and it's rising fast, because 2 weeks ago an international standard cinema has opened, you know, with Dolby audio. Wow. You know, and another one 2 days ago also, it has, like, you know, standard screening. You know, that as a filmmaker, I don't want to do anything in my life just to tell stories. Right. So when I see that happening, you know, I get happy. Right. You know, seeing people like Susanna, like Amjad, like Kurdufani, even Fatma Naib, she's one of the best people you can meet in Sudan. Everybody knows her. And she supported a lot of filmmakers, even me myself, she supported a lot into giving me ideas and telling me how the industry works. Because in Sudan, we don't have what's it called, like establishments where you can study film or get ideas. You just have to get it by your own way.
So there are no institutions. There's no school. There's
right. I've checked a couple of times local universities, but the curriculum is too outdated, and they even like use the software that we used to use 15 years ago. I don't want to.
I understand. Yeah.
So you have to be updated, like this guy said. You have to be fast and efficient and updated. So one of the reasons why we still use old software also because of the embargo. Sanctions. I can't, even if I can afford the latest Premiere Pro version, I can't pay because we don't have Visa. And if the Visa, if I can pay it, I can't update it because the internet problems and stuff. So we crack it all the time. But you have to do it.
You got to find a way out.
I hope that ends soon. I want more people to see the potential of Sudan, to invest in the filmmaking industry. We have, Sudan is so big. Even to me, I went to a couple of places outside of Sudan, and it's still, every time I get fascinated by how this country is big. We have a lot of lands, a lot of cultures, a lot of tribes,
resources,
a lot of food, resources. You can spend 10 years in Sudan and still you didn't even discover 10% of it.
Wow.
So that's why I try to encourage people to come to visit Sudan, invest in films, see the stories, and also from our side as filmmakers, I try as much as possible to encourage local filmmakers to reach out, as much as possible to tell them the ways how they can finance their film. Sometimes you just have to go, guerrilla. And then
guerrilla style,
guerrilla style, that's how I do it. Crowdsourcing, reaching people, even if they reject you the first time for not believing in you, you should try push more and more the next time, because you reach a level. I don't want to say like me, but you reach a level where people believe in you so much that they want to collaborate with you in any kind of way. 2 days ago, I was reaching this storyboard artist, and I was telling him how much do you charge per, what's the criteria for it? He was like, I charge $150 per page and stuff like that. But he asked me whose project is it? And I told him it's mine. And immediately hey, I'm not charging you anyway. It's an honor just to work with you. So. That's why I try. At the beginning, I didn't have that luxury, just borrowing cameras. I didn't have an editor, and I struggled to find an editor, and sound was lousy, But you just have to trust the process, Every time you develop, you see your flaws, and then you fix it, and develop yourself until you reach a point where now I have the tools, the brains. Now I just have to make magic.
Exactly. I like that. No, that deserves a round of applause. He's not done, but so you see, I wasn't wrong when I said you make magic with a camera. But that's very interesting. And also I like the fact that we can actually see progress. For the likes of Sudan, right? Yes, and others, who are creating and creating opportunities. You just said that you have 2 cinemas, in Sudan right now. So that means that it's a gradual process. It's trying to find its own way to shape it out. But do you think you guys will be better off working as a collective, as a team, to really enforce this change? And then also, how can you're talking about partnerships, investments, and earlier on you mentioned about how the big G is trying to sabotage the industry. So as an investor, I rather take my money to Ethiopia, or take my money to Ghana, somewhere else, or Nigeria, where I know the market is there and I can make numbers. So my question will be, how can you don't necessarily have to convince a partner, but then how is that going to play out? I mean, are there because there's obviously investment came in to build those cinemas, right? So there is the opportunity. There's a way for it to be to work. And how is that coming out?
Well, first, it's always great to work as a team because you can't do it by yourself. And even if you can, you'll be stuck at a certain level. So definitely working as a team, that's the best option. And even I wouldn't be here if I don't have a solid team, just to help me doing stuff. And also, what was the second question?
The question was about the government sabotaging and the investments coming in. How do you even convince the investor, because you have that issue, because I won't come and put money in there and then not be able to see returns.
Yeah, I mean, the greatest example is the films that are made right now.
Okay.
And as we speak, there are 7 feature films in development, and that shows that there are investors over there that are already invested in films.
Okay.
I know some of the films and some of them I don't, which proves that there are people working in the industry and then producing films. If you're an investor and you're afraid that what will happen with your money, basically, well, I can't guarantee you that something good will happen or not, but you can wait a little bit and watch these films get out, and then you can be certain that your money will, what will happen with your investment. But by the time that you start to believe, it's already late.
Yeah.
Because now it's growing, and the best time to invest in a thing like the NFTs is early. When you invest early, you can guarantee that you grow and the industry grows with you.
Absolutely.
If you come late, you can't. I mean, like everything that happens around the world, when it's young, it's solid, and the story is great. And like I said, the films are already winning. So let's say in 2 years, 3 years, there will be just like commercial movies with no meaning, and by that time you won't be happy, investing in stories that are not relevant. So right now there are a lot of stories in Sudan. Even myself, I don't even know them, and every day I discover more great stories that I see that they can be great in film, whether it's in short film or feature film. So that's why I'm encouraging people.
Thank you very much, Ibrahim, aka Snoopy. I think your story is great, and we need more like you, especially from your country, Sudan, to continue fostering this agenda, because it has to be a win-win situation, so that we can all be proud of what you guys have, because you cannot put in so much work. I'll use my country as an example. Ghana, we put it in so much as creatives. The government system is not really there. They try to do something, but it's not really there. At least they're not stopping us, but they open the doors. However, for example, Ghana right now, our focus from the National Film Authority is to invite more investors to come to our country and shoot. And why do we want them to come? Because we believe we have, as far as locations are concerned, we have one of the best in the world. So we have resources, we have great landscapes, we have good food, the culture, the nightlife. So why can't we do that? I just did produce with a creative from LA called Nathan Fulham. He's called Worldwide Nate. He does this documentaries and a TV series showcasing Africa from his lens. So he did South Africa, and then he was in West Africa this time around. My PM is my production manager, Basira, she worked on that project. Females, empowering females, I like that. And it was a good thing, collaborations, and that's some of the ways that I believe you guys can break out of that shell, because it's really helping, especially with coming to Africa that we did. We spoke about that. By the way, my director said he's definitely put you in the part 2 to work with him, so I think that's really good, and we need more of that, But anyway, thank you very much, Snoop. Where can we find you? Social media handles, a website, anything?
I'm all over Facebook, because Sudan rely on Facebook a lot, so definitely you can find me on Facebook, Ibrahim Snoopy. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
One of the things that I want to mention is that during the pandemic, 2 years ago, I started to read a lot about Pan-African, like Kwame Nkrumah,
Right.
Patrice Lumumba, Thomas Sankara, Julius Nyerere, and all of these guys. So, and I find that, one thing in common, that they love their country and they died for it.
Yes.
And that's the mentality that I have. Your country won't be developed. No one will build your country. You have to love yourself, accept yourself, your country, your people, in order for it to develop. That's how I'm thinking. And also in cinema. If I think in a personal way, like I can travel, whatever, as a filmmaker, travel, go build, live outside. Yeah, you can benefit for yourself, but what's going to happen to the industry? A lot of people, they won't be losing hope, but less hope will be there. So as a filmmaker, as a Sudanese filmmaker, I feel like there's a responsibility towards the community, towards all the filmmakers, people, young guys, especially the young dudes in Sudan, because sometimes they are hopeless. So I try to push as much as possible hope to the community, to the industry, in order for them to believe that Sudan will be going somewhere, with everything that's happening.
Right.
So the number one thing that I want to tell people, that they should love their country first and their nation. And that's the thing that you said 5 minutes ago. You also try to push investors to see what Ghana has, because you love your country.
Right.
I know that you had millions of opportunities just to travel to Europe or America, but you wanted to stick in your country because you want to develop the industry. You want to tell stories,
Absolutely.
great stories that been silenced for the past 50 years, and it's about time that it should be out. So, and also I like to mention these guys. Can you put the fist?
Snoop?
Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, can I just tell you, I made a film in Sudan. I made a film on N.W.A,
Okay.
supermodel in Sudan, and we went back to Sudan and we worked in N.W.A with the Dinka.
Okay.
It was the BBC, it was used to become well. And it's an extraordinary country. I mean, where are you from?
From Khartoum.
You're from Khartoum?
Yeah.
Because it was still not divided when we were there.
Yeah, like more than 10 years
About
ago, right?
20 years ago.
Okay,
We
okay.
done N.W.A's highest. We went to see Alex home and she came with us.
Wow.
We're proud of the country.
That's cool.
But,
That's really cool.
It was an amazing experience. And then I had a second experience in Sudan where I have a foundation called Films Without Borders. And we asked, this boy from Sudan was going to come. We had a group of people flying to New York. And we were going to take this boy from Sudan. And I said to the boy from Sudan, remember you are an ambassador for your country. Behave like an ambassador. So he got to, he had to fly from Sudan to somewhere else. I think it was Kenya or Kenya to get into America, to fly to America. Come back.
Connection.
Yeah. And he got there and he'd spent all his money. We'd given him all this money. You could only buy the ticket at that time outside Sudan. So I said, well, where's all the money gone? He said, you told me to act like an ambassador, so I stayed in the best hotel.
I like that. Because that's what he knows. The ambassadors and the government officials, they live in the big
Spend a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money.
So over here, these are the guys that are every day on the front lines. So I have to salute them and pay them respect. There are ongoing protests in Sudan twice a week, So these are the guys that are every day on the front lines, facing bullets, facing tear gas, all kinds of atrocities made by the police. So they are the guys that are giving us filmmakers and the rest of the people space so they can do their stuff. So I have to mention them from here.
So can you translate that?
So غاضبون بلا حدود, that means in a way that we're just like niggas with attitude.
Ah, okay.
So in that sense. So like angry without borders, but it doesn't make sense. You know?
Okay, so that was like an N.W.A.
Yeah, yeah. And also the second photo, boss.
Yes.
This is the photo that won best photo in Africa, made by my friend Faiz Abu Bakr, which is a girl returning back a tear gas, you know, to the police. And that shows, you know, how people are still struggling, fighting, you know, because we don't want to be, you know, captivated. We want freedom, freedom of expression, freedom of everything. And you know how it is. And the last photo, this is basically a meeting with some of the best people in the filmmaking industry about our upcoming film, which talks about female detainees, you know, during the revolution. So we wanted to do a short film about girls that went got detained and how they act with themselves and the humanitarian side of them and how they, you know, support each other, you know, emotionally. So this maybe her face isn't that shown, but she's the lead female actress from the film You Will Die in 20, you know. And some of these guys are the best in their profession. So like I said, like crowdsourcing, you know, we have the art director over there. He's like one of the best theater directors. So we wanted his assistance on, you know, training the girls, how they act, you know, and staging, all of that. This is the director, Yasser. This is the assistant, and that's me trying to look professional. And that's it. So, yeah. Thank you everyone for listening. If there's any question.
Yeah, no, just a comment. So I represent an organization called Global Film Media Initiative, N.W.A. And we're running right now pitching and script writing on Zoom.
Yeah, I'll participate in it also.
Yeah. And I just want to say that we're finalizing the pitching version component in the next 2 weeks, and there's some fantastic projects coming out of Sudan.
Also, this film is one of the films that are in N.W.A.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So there will be quite a number of awards, perhaps more than in relation to the films there. But I think it's an interesting opening because what we realized that a lot of because you have sort of two types of filmmakers. You have the filmmakers who actually know the international market, and then you have filmmakers who have never been out of the country. And there's a long road ahead, and it's amazing the energy that's being put in to bring stories out, and the stories are fantastic. So if anybody's looking for co-productions in Sudan, let me know, and I'll just put you in touch with the filmmakers.
One last thing, I have to thank the lady that made everything possible, and if it wasn't for her, I would have been here. PK. Applause for PK. I call her PK.
Well, PK, PY, and Snoopy, that sounds like a collaboration. No, we'll probably have to bring Helen in for that because she loves the peas. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Snoopy. And definitely we'll look forward to major projects, and then we'll definitely continue with the conversation. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. Round of applause. Round of applause. That was really lovely.